Hey everyone, Melanie Minchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I've got a new project for you with my newest set from Gina K Designs, Stately Flowers 13, and I'm going to be using a greeting from Emily Loggins' Just Because set. All these fun greetings. So this is one of my most popular cards that I had on my Instagram when we did the hop with our design team recently. So I wanted to show you how easy this card was going to be to create. And I think I'm also going to do one on pink just to show you how that's going to look. I think it's really cool how the black just fades into the blue, but I think it'll be really fun to have a contrast there with the pink and the black. The other products that you're going to need to make this particular card, I've got some of the Gina K. This is the blue raspberry and the passionate pink. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches scored at 5 1/2 for a top fold card. The ink that I'm using today, I've got some of the Gina K Embossing watermark ink. This is a clear ink that is going to allow us to do this emboss resist technique on the card. And then I've got some of the Gina K Designs Jet Black Amalgam ink, or excuse me, yes, Jet Black. I can't find my obsidian pad now, and that is even a little bit darker than this black, but it's black enough. I'm going to be using the MISTI for stamping my greeting just to get that really nice and solid black. And then I've got one of the life-changing blending brushes for doing my blending. I've also got the heat gun, and this is by Marvy. And then I've got some of the Gina K clear embossing powder. Got a small block for stamping out those flowers just because I like to turn it and move it around, and I just find that a little bit easier than having to replace it each time on the MISTI. So I think that's about everything. If I remember something, then I will just jump in and let you know what it is. And as always, post all the supplies below in the description of the video. Oh, okay, yes, there is one more thing. Just some scratch paper to have underneath to catch that embossing powder, and then also for doing your sponging so you don't get anything on your work surface. So let's begin by stamping this card. And I always want to start when I've got a two-step by using the outline and then putting the filler inside of it. It's just always easier to line up. Now, if you want to have it offset, that provides a really whimsical look, but for this, I really want all of that flower to show. And the way that we're going to make that happen is by filling this in and embossing it so that it's going to resist all of that clear embossing ink and then embossed powder. So I'm going to start with the outline in the black, and I just want this to look like peach blossoms falling from a tree. So I am turning the stamp each time, and I'll put these over here as well. Let's do a side fold angle just to kind of change it up a little bit. And I'll save some room for a different greeting over here. Then what I want to do is I'm going to come back to this black pad when we do our greeting. So I am going to use the filler, and this is not a symmetrical blossom. Each one is different. So there's one, I find this pointy one that's coming out the easiest way to line it up. So you always kind of look for some kind of indicator or feature on that stamp to help you figure out which way to orient it. And I'm glad I'm getting a video done this morning. I braved the remodeling conditions that are happening over here. I don't want to bore you with it, but it has just been crazy. And as remodels usually go, I found some new problems. My husband's found some new problems that we weren't anticipating that's going to make it take even longer. But I'm thinking about you guys, saying a prayer that the whole coronavirus thing will have a swift resolution. Do your part, but don't panic. Just have confidence in the system. Try to enjoy the time and relaxing. But I didn't think I was even going to be able to get into my craft room to do this. So I don't know. This might be the last one for a while. They're going to be cutting a hole through the floor. All kinds of stuff is happening. And it doesn't even have anything to do with my craft room. It's because it's right off the kitchen. And they cut through a water pipe. My husband cut through a water pipe that he didn't intend to. And so we can't wash clothes now. And the only way to get to that pipe is through the floor of my room. And this is a longer story, but I'm just telling it now while I'm just trying to get this powder on here. what's making the quarantine or kind of self-distancing even harder for our family right now. I was actually supposed to go on a trip to see my dear friend Carolyn, who I haven't seen in about 8 years, I think, as a fun spring break plan. Well, that got canceled, as everyone's plans did. But my husband chose this week that I was supposed to be gone to demo out our kitchen, rip it up. So now that we're home and we can't go to any restaurants, they're all closed for 6 weeks, we don't have the ability to cook. We just have our microwave set up in the dining room and our fridge, and the whole kitchen is blocked off with plastic. So it's been interesting. It already feels like we've just been doing this forever and that we're out of stuff, but it's really just that we can't find stuff. Okay. All right. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get these embossed. So we're going to take our heat tool and we're going to hold it close, but not too close. And we're going to move it around until we see this powder melt. And it's very easy on this bright colored cardstock. It's going to turn a deeper color. So pretty. And we'll do this on the pink real quick. And if the paper bends up a little bit, you can flip the card over and just heat it up the other way and it'll flatten out. Okay. So I'm going to give these just a second to dry before I touch them. Make sure, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to flip this over. So let's go ahead and just stamp our greeting on here. So I think instead of the thinking of you, so the flowers I used on that was the Peach Blossom from Stately Flowers 13. So I think I'm going to do the Sending Hugs. I like how big this greeting is. And we're just going to place this onto the door. And I go either way with this. You can go left to right or right to left. It's going to be a little bit easier to ink if you... Ooh, that's really long, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to have it go about like that. And I apologize if there's noises in the background. There's somebody in there doing the skim coat on our walls for the sheetrock. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp this greeting. So just ink all over, and I'm going to be able to do this a couple times and just get it really nice solid black. And having my greeting on there before I do my blending, that's going to make sure that I don't go too deep into where I have that greeting. I really want that to pop and glow. Okay, let's do it one more time. And have your little tidy towel handy from Gina K or something else to clean the ink off of that. Let me go ahead and I'm going to do this pink one now. I'm going to need to turn it, and I think I'm going to do a different one on this, and then I don't have to worry about getting that stamp clean. I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, I sent a card instead of a text, especially right now, just something a little more personal. Hope if y'all are deep into things being closed and avoiding people, that you are enjoying the opportunity to craft. You got to do something. And we'll have an opportunity to send all these cards and connect soon. So this can be a nice way to try to connect in spirit with the people that you're missing. Okay. And and I went ahead and just used the block. Oh well. Okay, so done. Let's go ahead and get to doing that blending, because I know that's the part that you're looking forward to seeing, that Emboss Resist. And these little blending brushes, you can get them in small packs or a large pack of large and small. So I'm going to take the black ink, and I'm just using one of the smaller brushes. The large one is really big, and then the smallest one in this set is just teeny, like a little stripe. So I'm just going to use something in between. So I'm just going to rub this onto the pad. And then I want to start off of the edge and start blending in here. And if you go off the edge, then you don't have to worry about making a great big mark that is the shape of the end of that brush. And you can go as subtle as you want with this. If you do end up getting a mark, just keep blending over it. Add a little bit more ink. But you have a lot more control with these brushes, I've found, than you do the sponge daubers. You can achieve the same with both, but this kind of helps you if you have a little bit of a heavy hand. And because the pink is so much brighter and different than the blue, it's going to take more of that black to cover. And one thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about supplies, if you have just that teddy towel or a paper towel handy, you can make these pop even a little bit more by just rubbing over this, and it will take off a little bit of the ink that you rubbed on over your embossing powder, okay? So I'm gonna work on the blue now here, and I might go back to that, but I just want you to see it on both colors. So grab a bunch of that black and just come down. And so I'm trying to create a fading effect, that it's darkest at the top and it's just looking very smoky down towards that greeting. And the inspiration for this, I saw some packaging. I think it was a perfume box. And it was just a very deep blue with kind of this black gradient or ombre. And I just thought that would be so pretty with these bold flowers. And just keep going. It's just going to be more dramatic the darker that you make it. And you can wash these brushes as well, so you can do that after. And then I'm going to take paper towel and just rub that over it, and that's just going to make those pop that much more. And that's it. So let me know in the comments which of these layouts you prefer, which color you prefer. And again, this is Emily Logan's Just Because set from Gina K Designs, and my Stately Flowers 13 also from Gina K Designs. So more videos coming up with this set soon and my other stamp sets. I hope to be able to continue creating videos for you in spite of all the chaos that's happening around here. And we'll just stay connected in spite of everything that's going on. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You know, watch my other videos in my playlist. If you're looking for something to do and you're trying to cure boredom, just learn something new, go make something. Don't think about what's going on that you can't control. Okay? God bless you. Bye.